What's up, guys? Day 2 of the vlog journey for both going alcohol free for 60 days and going carnivore for 30 days ish. 30 days is the goal. If it exceeds that, cool. So I told you guys I would do one of these every day. This is day 2. I'm hoping that I stay consistent. We'll see. So, like I promised in the first episode, and if you haven't seen it, I will drop a link to there. Start there, then come back. So, today was my first full day of attempting keto. Yesterday, I didn't really make the decision until the end of the day. But I wanted to give you guys kind of a breakdown on what I did and didn't do successfly, whether it was unintentional, intentional. Sorry, I messed with my hat. I just cannot figure out how I want this thing. So some takeaways. So this time, ready? Get my work laptop out of there. All right, so I took some notes. I'm going to go over some of the things that I experienced in the sense of I'm a human, right? Just like you are. So I'm not some fitness guru. I am not a doctor, so on and so forth. But I wanted to kind of go over some of the things that I experienced today. So my first almost fail. And this just goes to show like how programmed we are, right? Our societal schema has this like, you know, our schemas in our brain, which is kind of like the pathways to like behaviors. They kind of just let you go on the path you're on, right? So that's kind of like habits. You have to break those habits. So I grabbed an apple parfait type of thing, apple crisp thing, and threw it in my lunchbox and I came to work. Now, the rest of my meal was a sausage link, some pieces of a sausage link, and some pork shoulder that I smoked yesterday. So the pork shoulder is within the constraints of the carnivore diet. However, the sausage, I learned, is not. So I did not realize, and I'm just being completely transparent with you guys, I did not realize that the carnivore diet was like really strict keto. So it's like a zero carb-esque diet. And I will be completely transparent with the rest of this journey. There are certain things that I will still consume, and I will explain that here in a second. So I packed an apple parfait type of thing, apple crisp thing from a steak place. I can't remember what it's called. I did not eat it. Yay, go me. But that being said, I did grab it, like out of just instinct. I got in this morning. I get up really early. I get up at like 5 o'clock in the morning. I don't sleep well in general, so that's, you know, I operate on very little sleep. So I got up and I went to grab my stuff. I grabbed my pre-packaged thing of pork, and then, okay, I'm not sure where I left off. My 5-year-old came down and wanted my attention. Apple fritter thing. Fritter, that's what it was. So a big takeaway was you just kind of naturally grab the things you're used to grabbing. I didn't eat it. That was a big success. And I was successful in not eating anything else that I thought was outside of the carnivore diet. I know some cheeses are acceptable in moderation. I know eggs are good. All that good stuff, and then they'll constantly say in the books and the articles, hey, make sure it's grass-fed if you can, or organic. Why we even have something non-organic when it comes to meat and eggs in this country is insanity to me. Shout out to all my UK folks and all my Canadian folks that are like, why should it have to say that? I feel you. So I came to the conclusion first thing in the morning. I was like, oh, dang. Well, throughout the day, I told you guys that I'm not perfect, right? I'm still going through the motions, and I can tell you I'm extremely caffeine dependent. So I had my regular coffee this morning on the way in, totally fine. had plenty of water to match it. I think they recommend like 2.4 liters of water a day or something like that. But I ended up, I had my sausage link slices pretty early on as a snack. Well, when I came home, I was reading an article, and I will drop the link in the description for you. Because if I'm going to talk about something, I will try my best to cite it. No, I'm not going to do ALA or ML or APA and MLA and all that jazz. I'm not interested in doing it. Am I capable of it? Sure, but I'm not going to. So I will drop the link for you so you can read that article. I'm not backing that article saying that's the truth, but I am saying that it was a good read, but I did it too late. The idea there is that the linked sausages are processed, so processed foods have a lot of other stuff in them. A big part of that is carbohydrates. The carnivore diet and being in ketosis, or getting ketones to be released in your bloodstream, a big part of that is staying in a high-fat, high-protein diet, and carbohydrates are not part of that. This also includes not having sugar and all that stuff. That goes in my second fail. So as I was drinking my coffee, later in the day, my buddy came in and he handed me an Alani Nu, which is an energy drink I drink frequently. It is 5 grams of carbs, I think. Something along those lines. I'll try to drop a link for that. They're delicious. I'm not saying they're not. And I'm also saying I'm not perfect. I did not realize this was a full-fledged keto diet. And if I'm being honest, the success of this in that sense may not be there quite for me. Because the reds that I listed in video 1 also have carbohydrates. Not a lot. All of this is very, very small. I will show a picture of the label of the reds that I listed in the previous video. But that being said, anytime you go on a diet, there's something really important you guys need to know. Consult your doctor. I don't think a lot of doctors are doing a great job of doing functional medicine and getting ahead of a health issue. I think we're really good in this country at treating symptoms, but hopefully you have a good primary care who really wants you to be healthy and not focused on you getting extra medications and all this other stuff. So when you're thinking about like your holistic health, consider all of this stuff before you start, right? Do your reading, know your body, work with your doctor, so on and so forth. Yeah, so I learned about the sausage kind of being a fail. I will do my best to not introduce that back into my diet. That's pretty easy for me. The other thing I had was greens. So my understanding is that the idea behind carnivore diet is that plant-based foods actually block your body from creating or absorbing nutrients. Don't quote me on that. Do your own work. I also think I have a link for that too, which I'll also drop. But it's just good information for you to take an extra couple minutes if you're going to go on this journey, whether with me or your spouse or friends or whatever, or just for yourself. Another thing, if you're on medications, I can tell you that you should not get off of them unless your doctor says you can. If you're starting to feel amazing 30 days in, 60 days in, then bring that back up to your doctor, right? I think that's important, and see what needs to happen. Like most people, are vitamin D deficient. I don't take vitamin D pills. I take a liquid form of vitamin D. It's D3 and I think K2. I will drop a link for you with that one. The doctor prescribed me these pills, but I did a bunch of research on this, and I'm not a doctor. But basically, the way vitamins get processed through your body, they go through phases before they're actually beneficial. And so I use a liquid dropper of D3, and my understanding is that it more effectively absorbs into the bloodstream, and actually your body actually utilizes it, so your liver processes less of it out, is my understanding. Again, do your own work on this, right? Don't just trust some random guy on the internet. So that's what I have for notes. Now let me tell you about how I feel. I'm very tired. It's only day 1, really. It's vlog 2, but day 1 of me feeling like this. I'm very tired all the time. So this is not new to me. I took way less caffeine today than I have because I'm trying to cleanse my body of it, I'm also being very realistic on my diet and trying to not jump straight in head first into a ketosis. Like, I'm kind of easing my way into it. I am too old to do something extreme like that. I have a fitness test in 2 days. So we will see how my body handles it, because I've been in ketosis before. I've also done tons of intermittent fasting. Again, at one point in time, I was actually moderately healthy. And I know that your first time experiencing that kind of stuff, your body kind of like goes into like a little bit of a lag, and because the whole idea behind ketosis is you're teaching your body to use fat as its primary energy source instead of things like carbohydrates. So I am excited for a week from now. I'm not very excited about the next couple days, but I appreciate you guys chiming back in, however many that is. And at the end of my last video, at the bottom, I had put a discount code for my apparel. This is actually my hoodie. This is the black version, but it'll be white on all the new ones. It says Untethered Adventure, and on the back is a Sasquatch holding 2 beers. I know, funny, right? I have a ton of other merch too, but anything you guys decide to pick up, it helps me out. It helps my family out, because we're trying to transition and hopefully maybe get out of the military at some point in the future and start to live a little bit more freely and not with as much stress. So I really appreciate you guys if you take a look at that. I'll also drop the link there. The code will be Untethered 2025, and I believe that's for 10% off. And if you message me on here or something, let me know and maybe I can work with you. Yeah, that's it. I really appreciate you guys swinging by. Thank you again. Thank you to all my subscribers. If you found this video even moderately interesting, give me a subscription, hit a like, maybe drop a comment. Hey Matt, thanks, I appreciate it, whatever the case might be. But either way, I really appreciate you guys. Stay humble, stay healthy, and live untethered. Thanks.